Hello, welcome to this update for the Atlantic in North America. So let's see what's happening. We have Tropical Storm Gabrielle that formed yesterday, was the second day, I think yesterday morning in the Atlantic. So it's there in the middle of the Central Tropical Atlantic. It's still kind of weak. The center is exposed and there's some areas of the storm with few convection, but it's still kind of organizing and battling some dry air. But it's there in the middle of the Atlantic. It's expected to head northwest. So not a threat for the Caribbean, but it might be a threat to Bermuda. They do have it strengthening to a hurricane later as it gets close to Bermuda by Monday. So better watch if you are in Bermuda. But the latest trends are curving east of Bermuda, so it might pass just east of you and not hit you. But in both areas, that the Caribbean and Bermuda, be careful, some rip currents and dangerous surf. So be aware. Here they do already have some tropical storm force winds possible in Bermuda, especially from like late Saturday until Monday. So be aware. And for the Caribbean, you're in the clear, and still like some low end hurricane force winds probability possible to the east of Bermuda. So please watch this if you are there. Yesterday we had two disturbances here, but the other one is gone today. But there's this one, 20% next 7 days. So this wave is still over Africa, but it might emerge into the Atlantic during the weekend. So shock waves forecast move off the west coast of Africa by Friday morning. Some slow development this distance possible over the weekend through the middle next week, while it moves west, northwest across eastern central tropical Atlantic. So be careful. Be careful. We're just watching this and we'll keep watching. But for now, this is the only wave to watch. There might be some other ones later that the models pick up, but we'll keep watching this. And for Gabrielle, be careful, some rip current, and if you're out like sailing in the open ocean, but still no threat to land. It might be a threat to Bermuda. It will most likely pass east of you, but you'll pass very close. So be aware, now in the Eastern Pacific, there's this area, some 80% chance of formation in next 7 days, in next 2 days already. So this might turn into a tropical depression very soon there across the Eastern Pacific, but it's most likely will head out to sea as well. So no major concern, but we'll keep watching. There's here for Tropical Storm Gabrielle. There's some ensembles, the Canadian model, most of them pass east of Bermuda, but still some pass over Bermuda. The GFS is kind of to the east, but very clustered around Bermuda. So please watch if you're there. And all the global models, like global like hurricane models, are passing east of Bermuda. Bermuda is the small dot here, and all the models are passing east of you. So still watch if you are there, especially for dangerous surf, but it might just go east. And now it's kind of expected to weaken a little bit as some models indicate and then strengthen again. So most models go into hurricane strength. Some remain a tropical storm, but most go into hurricane strength. And two of them go to major hurricane. So this still has a small shot of becoming major hurricane, but most likely category 1 or 2 if it does. So we keep watching, just be aware. The European ensembles, so like mainly east of Bermuda, so most of the European ensembles are passing east of you. So my concern for you would be some gusty winds nearby and some dangerous rip currents. But the next wave is already showing some members like north of the Caribbean, near the Bahamas, spots the Eastern Caribbean, a few members, but there's very little support. we need to get more support before actually making forecasts for this area. But this might be even a wave after that, because as you can see here, there's these members like to the east of the path of Gabrielle, and these members are coming from the Cabo Verde as well. So this might be our next wave, and then these low riders might be a future wave to watch. So still nothing certain, but we'll keep watching. So here we can get a clear picture at 168 hours. So you can see there's a clear path of Gabrielle here, and then these other members south. These other ones are the next wave coming. So some members are already curving north, and some are further south. So by 192 hours, already shows most likely curving north. So there's some good support to this, but not so much. So here there's the GFS. It shows like there's Gabrielle goes and does have a lot of support. Something tries to form the Central Tropical Atlantic, but the GFS, some members are further south as well. And then like let's see if the Google AI has something interesting. So it does if Gabrielle goes away there, it does have the next system, the members clustered around the same area that Gabrielle is right now. So this might, if it forms, it might end up going out to sea as well. But better watch because some members are still further south. And if I put it like 312 hours, just for curiosity, the Google AI models are starting to show some members in the Caribbean and through the Gulf. So this has been showing up as a trend the last few days. And this like 300 hours out, and you shouldn't even think about this yet. I'm just showing you because we are exploring here, but don't even think about it yet. But just know that closer to the end of the month, there's a chance for something to come off the gyre or from the Caribbean, maybe creeping to the Gulf. So there's this model, there's another Google AI model. It shows less support, but still shows some around the Gulf in the end of the month. So better just watch, and then some future waves in the Atlantic, most likely curving north, because as you can see, there's Gabrielle that's long gone, but there are some future members like Central Subtropical Atlantic from the next wave. So just watching, but be aware right now with like the rip currents and everything with Gabrielle near the Caribbean. We'll keep watching the future ones. So here's there like the GFS shows this goes there with Gabrielle. It's quite weak. It's a weak storm for now, but it will strengthen closer to Bermuda, according to the GFS. So it goes might be a threat for the Azores later, not direct, but might pass close and bring a strong cold front. But yeah, that's far out. And then later, the GFS tries to get something the Florida Straits, but very weak. And then some other stuff in the Atlantic. He does try to form some other ones that main development region, but that's too far out. So there's the zero Z European, shows like, let's go back to the present. So shows Gabrielle still weak there. This goes, it might strengthen up near Bermuda, possibly into a hurricane, and then does pass north of the Azores, but goes to the North Atlantic as a strong extratropical cyclone into Iceland. So we'll keep watching, but further out than that, by 300 hours, it just has some lingering moisture near Florida and those areas, but it doesn't have any storms yet. So that's a good sign, but still watching. So be aware. The thing to be careful with now as well is the rainfall, especially in Mexico and Guatemala, with this system forming. So shows like some 145 millimeters near the southern coast of Mexico into Guatemala, 108 to 150, even like few spots 135. So be careful. Lluvia muy fuerte en México y Guatemala y América Central, principalmente en México. Precauciones con inundaciones. Good, so be careful, and also a few showers and storms into northern Mexico, I think through in Arizona and New Mexico, and especially the west coast of Mexico. So be careful. Still some showers and storms. a few days in Cuba and Florida, in the Bahamas as well. Hispaniola, Jamaica, a few showers and storms and spots in the Eastern Caribbean. So be aware because as we can see here, there's this storm still lingering in the Caribbean, like a stalled front across southern Florida, some storms in the Bahamas. There's this tropical wave now in the Eastern Caribbean with some heavy downpours across the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. So be careful this wave as well. Some strong storms, but this won't develop because there's too much wind shear from some upper level lows and other disturbances that are shearing this. But this is bringing some strong storms, so be aware. And another area of heavy rain to be careful is over Western Africa because this tropical wave is right over there now. Spot Western Africa, those strong storms. So just be careful there too, especially Central Africa into Nigeria, Cameroon, more than 100 millimeters, and the rain starting to creep further south into Angola, alright, Democratic Republic of the Congo, some showers and storms all the way to Ethiopia. So be aware, those rains, be careful. And the Mediterranean is another story. We have a video for Europe tonight or Saturday, so stay tuned for Europe. But yeah, be aware and let's check continental North America now. So today's September 18th, and they added a slight risk for severe weather at this exact moment because when I entered this, it was a marginal. So there's a slight risk of severe weather in Missouri today for some wind and some hail, but especially wind. And then there's less than 2% tornado. But be careful, some storms with damaging winds there. And even marginal risk in California, if you can believe it, and in Arizona and Nevada, some wind again. So be aware. Actually, severe storms possible late this afternoon tonight into Missouri and adjacent parts lower Missouri Valley and southern plains. Isolated strong severe storms may occur parts north southern California, lower Colorado River Valley. So be careful. And tomorrow, still nothing. We might have a margin or two, but still some general thunderstorms in the green areas. And later, still some storms, but nothing too crazy. And be aware now for like some excessive rainfall. Let's just see here because here. So does show like especially in California and in Arizona today that's light risk because of the moisture left over from Hurricane Mario in the Pacific. So and that area in California is very like hilly, mountainous, and Arizona very prone to mudslides. So be careful, marginal in Los Angeles, but slight just to the north and east of Los Angeles. Las Vegas as well, so be careful. It's a flash flood or two, and also a marginal in the plains into the Midwest because of those storms. So be careful. And yeah, day two still is light in Central California. Continue being careful. Some flash flooding spots the Southwest, Florida, in the plains, all the way to Canada. Day three, kind of in the plains. Day four and day five, and that's important because the rainfall does show this area might get some heavy rain, even to 4 inches or more next 7 days. Oklahoma into Missouri and Arkansas. So be careful. Also the Bahamas and Florida, and some more widespread showers in California, some heavier. So be careful. And across Canada, there's something very interesting happening as well. So let's see here, shows like some more Pacific fronts in Alaska already coming south into Canada. So shows especially Saturday the 20th a very strong front in British Columbia. So this goes even arrives to northern Washington. It was some rain on Sunday into Oregon, and then still some fronts on Monday in British Columbia again. Some rain and snow. So and already some snow starting in Yukon and Alaska, not areas too. So be aware. The rain accumulation does show today, the 18th until the 23rd, over 100 to 200 millimeters. Southern Alaska, British Columbia, so like 251 spots, southern British Columbia, next 5 days. 200 in Alaska, some 7 to 9 inches in a few spots, lower Alaska, even 10 inches in a few spots. So be careful in those areas. And still some rain across Yukon, Northwestern Territory, spots interior British Columbia, and some into Washington too. So be careful. And for forest snow does show, especially in the Rockies and Western Canada into Alaska, shows like some 17, 18 centimeters. In Yukon, Northwestern Territories into like 30 centimeters. In the mountains, British Columbia does show even to like 100 centimeters, a few spots, 54. Does show some in the southern Rockies further south as well, but some 37 centimeters. Does show there in Alaska like some 24 inches in the mountains, in spots to 30 inches, a few mountains. In central Alaska, some 3 inches to like 10 inches in a few areas. So stay safe as well. In more spots in northern Alaska, some snow. The U.S. itself does show a finger or two in Wyoming, some close to 1 inch, but like very, very little. The icon, nothing. The GFS, a few hints there in the Rockies. So be careful. And eastern Canada might be interesting as well. It's a sign that winter is coming. So that shows some snow in Quebec to 5 centimeters, even to 10 centimeters. Northern Labrador into Quebec, right, in the next 5 days. So be aware, northern Quebec, and does show like spots in the Arctic archipelago, even to 72 centimeters or more. So be careful. The GFS did have some snow there too. So the European does show this system, this low pressure near Labrador now, with some snow in far northern Quebec, and those areas in central Quebec as well. And it still lasts until Saturday, some showers of rain and snow in northeastern Canada until Sunday actually. So be aware. And later a few showers or storms in southern Canada and those fronts in the west with the snow and everything. So stay safe. The shows some winds are quite strong today in Yukon and Nunavut and spots in the northwestern territory, especially Nunavut. And there's the low pressure in Quebec with some damaging winds as well. Even to each 100 km per hour northeastern parts of Quebec. So be careful. Friday, then to Saturday, still some strong winds in eastern Quebec and starting to arrive in British Columbia there by Saturday, some strong winds central and like into eastern British Columbia to Sunday. Kind of dies down some, but still shows some strong winds, northwestern territories there into British Columbia. Southern Alberta, some strong winds in the mountains by Sunday and Monday, and a few spots into northern Montana too. Some 51 mile per gust by the European. So be aware, and by this time still shows some gusty winds there in Labrador and spots in Newfoundland by Monday, and still some fronts throughout later. So stay safe. Be careful in those areas. It does show that rain accumulation, a few spots central Canada as well, and like southern Canada, most of the plains and Midwest in the US. So stay safe and be careful. That shows some cold temperatures already in northern Canada, into Alaska, especially some negative temperatures. There are spots of like northern Alaska, some cold temperatures as well, especially like right in the 20s Fahrenheit in northern Alaska. So be aware. Central southern Canada is much milder, to some 20 Celsius in a few spots, but Quebec has that cold air because that trough there, so this is still cold, like some 7 to -1 degree Celsius. So Thursday, Friday still shows the cold starts creeping more into Quebec and a few spots in Labrador and further into the Rockies in Canada. So be careful. Parts of Nunavut much colder, but spots still like to 11 degrees, but other spots colder. So Friday into Saturday, the cold dominates northern Alaska, even like some 22 degrees Fahrenheit, even lower. So be careful. Saturday, Sunday, still mild to even kind of hot. Southern Canada. But then Sunday, the there to Monday, still shows more of a cold blast spots in Alaska, northwestern Canada. So stay safe. And just one quick look here for the U.S. So still shows May is 90s today. Spots the Mississippi Valley, and there into the Ohio Valley. The Midwest is a 98 in Arizona. Those areas in California still hot. During the night, does fall into the 30s Fahrenheit in the Rockies, but still warm to hot in the south. And then during the days, so 90s on Friday, especially like southern Arizona too, spots further east in the US. And then this is like into Saturday morning. There is some 40s, 30s in the northeastern US as well, and in the mountains of the west. Still slightly colder, even to 100 in Arizona Saturday afternoons, some 90s in the mid-south, and then like Sunday morning, still some 30s in the northeast, New England, and spots in the Rockies slightly colder. And then during the day, still some heat risk, spots in Arizona, Texas, still kind of hot, so be careful. But like does get colder, some 30s, 20s in the Rockies by next week. So, but still kind of hot in the south. So we'll keep watching everything, but stay safe.